Chapter 16, Night of Your Life. So who do you think will be this year? These are random people, I assume. No one knows, but I'm putting my money on the Tumbleweave character. Really? I was putting on Black Diamond. His knife skis really are quite fetching. Do you think they have the heroice here with us hiding away somewhere backstage? You overhear two women whispering, You overhear two women whispering loudly nearby, their diamond earrings jangling as they gab. It still hasn't quite settled in that they're talking about you. They're wondering about you. They're not really talking about you. They're talking about Tumbleweave and Black Diamond. That is, this whole damn party is for you. It's for the taxpayer. It all seems to be happening at warp speed. You really should be ecstatic, but one thought dominates the others. Grandma should be here with you. You scan the crowd to distract yourself, taking in the gorgeous gowns and elaborate costumes in the room. It's littered with socialites, politicians, and famous heroes. Everyone who's anyone in MC is invited to the HOT party. Of course, the elites of the press world are also in attendance, along with dozens of aspiring heroes, invited to the party to act as decoys for you. You try to see if you can spot Sonya, but it appears she still hasn't arrived yet. Wait. If they invited dozens of aspiring heroes to act as decoys, I would assume that some of these heroes are the runners-up, which means, as the second choice for this award, shouldn't I at least have been invited to the party? That's generally how these things work. That's strange. That's very strange and suspicious, and I think this is a setup and a trap. You try to see if you can spot Sonya, but it appears she still hasn't arrived yet. The author of the HOT profile is usually an aspiring writer as well, so their identity is kept just as secret as the inductees. Perhaps that's why you haven't seen Sonya here yet? You can't help but be a little worried, though, considering she hasn't answered any of your calls since you arrived. Luckily, the organizers of the event and some key members of the HOT board were here to greet you and fill you in on the evening's proceedings in private. Right now, you're just supposed to enjoy the party and mingle a bit, so you decide that's what you're going to try to do. Who do you want to talk to? Rexford Schillers. Am I supposed to recognize that name? Because I frickin' don't. Mayor Victon, I know that name. The virtuous reality game executive, screw that guy. The diva, Tarana Rain's parents. I'm debating the diva or Tarana Rain's parents. Those are my top two choices. I want to do the diva, because I want to hear what MC's doing. I want to hear what the jury's up to. I want to hear what Black Magic's up to. I don't want to meet Black Magic. I just kind of want to hear what happened to him. Tarana Rain's parents will be interesting too, though, but they're probably also really snotty like she is. So let's go with the diva. Since you don't spot any other group members, you assume the diva must be here representing the entire team, which is just as well, since you're not sure what you would say to Black Magic, if you were here anyway. Silent treatment is the answer. Diva, you say, as you approach, tilting to kiss her on both cheeks. So good to see you. The diva wears another stunning costume, an ivory jumpsuit. I'm assuming ivory colored, not made out of ivory, because an ivory jumpsuit sounds awfully rigid. An ivory jumpsuit paired with a puffy shrug made of silver chiffon. A large ruby sits in the center of the diva's chest, connecting the shrug to the jumpsuit. It's actually called a shrug? I've never heard that. I think I can picture it, though. The pink soles of the diva's high-heeled boots glow on the marble floor, raising her height to a commanding 6.5 feet. Wait. So when I tilted to kiss her, I had to tilt upwards. Yes, darling, the diva says. I was terribly sorry to hear you didn't make the group. Someday I will, hopefully, you say. Well, that's so sweet, the diva laughs, leaning in to whisper in your ear. Black Magic sends his regards, by the way. The diva then straightens up, offering you a knowing stare. I don't think she knows what she thinks she knows. If she knew about Black Magic, I guess I don't know her that well. Maybe she'd allow him in the group anyway. I don't know. As your ears turn a bright shade of red, you quickly say your goodbyes. This is not something you want to get into with the diva right now. You still have some time before the official ceremony begins, so who else do you want to talk to? Tarana Rain's parents. Anyone would recognize the McNeils, the famous couple that owns the Millennial Orbit. Right, I forgot that. You're about to go introduce yourself when you remember that Tarana Rain's parents don't know she's been working with you. Oh. Right. This is a bad choice. And they'd probably be more inclined to have you arrested than thank you. thinking better of it, you decide to steer clear of them instead. Oh. Wait, I don't get to talk to anybody else? You try to decide who to talk to next, scanning the crowd once again. But that's when you spot someone who makes you do a double take. It's Jenny. Who? And she's not in her usual ponytail getup. Since it was a ponytail, an entire getup, is she dressed like a giant ponytail? Usually like, oh look, he's wearing that mohawk getup. His entire outfit's a giant mohawk. She's wearing a floor-length nude dress, or no dress as it's commonly called, that clings to her slender frame with surprising elegance. She stares at you from across the ballroom, waving sheepishly. Bah! You make your way over to her, smiling widely. I so wish I were straight right now. It's friggin' creepy. Jenny, you look stunning. And did no one tell you the event was black tie? Jenny jokes, eyeing your costume. How are you here right now? You ask, feeling immediately guilty for not telling Jenny about the HOT party sooner. I have no recollection who this person is at all. With all that happened with Grandma, you couldn't really bear to face anyone, especially not Jenny. Well, since you so rudely forgot to invite me, Jenny says, not stopping to let you apologize, your grandmother called me. She didn't know if you'd want her here, so she asked me to come. Hearing this, your heart threatens to crack in half. No, it doesn't. I'm cold-hearted. Grandma deserves this. And let me tell you, finding formal wear on such short notice was not easy, Jenny says, adjusting the straps of her dress. I'm surprised it even has straps. But you can tell, but you just try to keep yourself together, asking, where is Grandma? Is Grandma alright? What did Grandma say? I don't care about Grandma! I don't care about Grandma! Oh. Is Grandma alright? She was still with Toronto Rain last I spoke to her. She was going to head back home once she knew you'd be here, Jenny says, putting a hand on your shoulder. But listen, this is incredible news, Taserface. You have to... What Grandma did was wrong, you say, cutting Jenny off, but still, she should be here. I know, Jenny says, but as your PFPP agent, aha! Now we know who she is. I probably wouldn't have allowed her to come anyway. It would have made it rather easy to unearth your identity. One look at the old lady sobbing in the front row, and your cover would have been blown. You nod. Jenny is right. For some reason I thought her name began with an A. Probably confusing her with like Tarana Rain, which sort of begins with an A in my mind. Unfortunately, that doesn't stop you from feeling completely awful. Yes, it does. But, well, because it doesn't stop me, because I never did. But we can sort that all out later, Jenny starts, lowering her voice to a whisper. Because quite frankly, I don't feel bad. I feel bad that Grandma feels bad. Sort of. I don't feel bad for what I did, because I think Grandma's overreacting. I was a little bit mad at Grandma, and I should have been mad at Grandma. I don't recall, even though I recorded the last episode yesterday, I don't recall doing anything super outrageously unprovoked. I just remember saying a couple angry things, and I wasn't like, get out of my life! You ruined my life! I didn't say anything outrageous, so I think this book is just trying to create a little bit of drama, which I do not appreciate. But we can sort it all out later, Jenny says, lowering her voice to whisper. Taserface, this whole thing is bloody outrageous. How did it even happen? You must tell me everything. Yeah, it's a setup. You're about to fill Jenny in on the whole Sonya saga when you realize, wait, it's not over yet. When you realize that you still haven't heard from her. You were sure she'd want to go over the details of the reveal. Oh, Sonya saga, I'm thinking of the other person. My nemesis person, not Jury, the other one. And reveal with you before things start rolling. I'll tell you everything in 1 second. I just have to take care of something, you say, stepping away from Jenny before she can protest. You walk into the hallway and ask Meechip Algernon to call Sonya again, a request that doesn't go over too well. All of these calls to Sonya, not a single one to black magic, Algernon mutters while dialing. Ignoring your incredulous Meechip, you sigh as Sonya's phone starts to ring, fully expecting to be directed to her me-mail yet again. Which is why you nearly jump when Sonya actually does answer, her holographic image flashing in front of your eyes. Except, it's not Sonya you see. It's Prodigy! She looks as statuesque as ever, wrapped in her red striped Kevlar bodysuit. She stares at you with her arms folded, a grin stretching through her face mask. My little Taserface, I thought you'd never ring, Prodigy says. Don't you know it's rude not to call a girl back after the first date? A million questions begin to run through your mind, but you try to keep focused, deciding to ask... Who the slug are you? Come now, did you really think I'm going to reveal my big secret by a meat chip? How tacky would that be? Prodigal asks, laughing. No, I'm going to tell you exactly what I want, and nothing more, chicken. Then you're going to have quite the choice to make. You quickly decide that you should go grab Jenny. But how are you going to get through the crowd without... No, I can already see that little mind of yours churning. You will tell no one else about this phone call. Do you want to know why? You nod, not sure what else to do. Because I kidnapped your reporter friend. Oh, and there's a little sidekick too, Prodigal says, offering a healthy pause to let that sink in. Now here's the real kicker. If you don't do exactly as I say, Prodigal finishes, they're both going to die. Your heartbeat thunders in your ears. Can that even be possible? Can they die? What if Prodigal is bluffing? As if on cue, the holographic image shifts so that you can see Sonya and Tirana Rain, both of whom are tied to chairs and gagged. Your stomach drops. Don't bother wondering how I got a hold of them or where we are. You won't have time for silly worries like that. You know you should be terrified for Sonya and Tirana Rain. Could you just call her like Tar? Like, give her a nickname or something? But one thought crashes through everything else. Tirana Rain was supposed to be with Grandma. Were they still together when Prodigal kidnapped her? And if they were, would Prodigal have any reason to hurt her? Just as you're about to ask about Grandma, you realize that you can't. Not unless you want to give away your secret identity. I have a strong suspicion that Prodigal already knows. You curse Grandma for refusing to have a me chip installed. Without one, you have no way of getting in touch with her. And if anything has happened to her after the way you left things, then water under the bridge. Straining to focus, you think at me chip Algernon drafting a mental text to Jenny. Check on Grandma now. Don't ask questions. I'll explain later. Or now! Frickin' just finish the text with your mind! You finish and hope you've practiced the thought command function enough for the text to go through. Now listen carefully, because I'm only going to say this once, Prodigal says, interrupting your thought process. I do feel rather terrible about ruining your big night, so I suppose I'll be a bit generous. I was going to kill both of these little darlings, but I'll let one live. And that choice, big hero, is entirely up to you. You struggle to keep up. Really? You're dense. Prodigal can't possibly be asking you to do what you think. You must be joking, right? Why are you doing this? I don't believe you. I'm not going to play by your rules. I'm hanging up. How do I know you'll hold up your end of the deal? What deal? I don't really understand the deal here. Is the deal I get to pick who dies and you promise you'll kill them? If you don't kill them, I'll be very upset. How about I don't say hanging up? How about I just freaking hang up? Who's caught? Who she captured? Sonya and Tirana Rain. Yeah, who cares? Who cares? They're anchors holding back my heroicness. I'm kidding, of course. Let's see. These are stupid, cliched, dumb, weak answers. These are the two good ones. I'm not gonna play by your rules. I'm not gonna play at all. I'm hanging up. Wrong answer, Taserface, Prodigal says, holding up a rather nasty-looking handgun. Again, with these nasty-looking things that should generally always look nasty, or neutral, but I mean, like, look at that sexy handgun. Now, I'm giving you quite the opportunity here. You get to save a life. That's every hero's dream, right? Shoot yourself. Prodigal laughs at herself, enjoying this show very much. So here's how it's going to work. You choose Tirana Rain or Sonya. Choose one to live or die. It's kind of important. Whoever you decide to save will be teleported right to your side, and then you can go back to enjoying your big night in peace. The other, well, you won't be seeing them again for quite some time, I fear. This can't be real. You press your brain for some unseen solution. But all you can come up with is trying to stall. You have to buy more time to think about. I'm giving you 2 minutes to make this decision, Prodigal says, once again a step ahead of you. Sort of. If you fail to do so in the allotted time or try to break the rules in any way, I'll simply shoot them both. So no funny business, you hear? Yeah, here. As Prodigal says this, she holds up a clock that begins counting down. Oh, man, she should have had an hourglass. 1 minute, 55 seconds remain. How on earth can you make a decision like this? Whose voice is it? The president. Taserface, a voice says from behind you. You twirl to find the president of the HOT board staring at you. Come with me, it's almost time. By the way, have you heard from Sonya? You don't have time for this. What do you do? 2 minutes is how long it would realistically take me to convey my message to Mayor Victon. But this isn't realistic. So, that might be a viable option. But I also don't trust him at all. Like, Sonya could be working for him for all I know. So I'm gonna go look for her with my superpowers somehow. Without waiting for the president's response, you run for the bathroom. That's not what I said I was doing. The first option was bathroom. The third option was not bathroom. You need a quiet place to think. By the time you get inside an empty bathroom stall, you only have 50 seconds left on the clock. So who's it going to be? So who's it going to be? The loyal sidekick or the helpful reporter? Prodigy says, holding up her hands to weigh the options. I do like a nice ethical conundrum. It really does show one's true colors, don't you think? What will good old Taserface do? Will he save the reporter who's about to give him the ultimate fame? I'm pretty sure even if you kill her, I still get it, right? I mean, they're not like waiting for her to tell them, right? Will he save the reporter who's about to give him the ultimate fame, or will he save the sidekick who helps him uphold justice? I really can't wait to find out. Oh, 20 seconds left, by the way. Your vision starts to blur. You can't do this. There has to be some other way. Maybe you can send another text to ask for help. This is not a decision you can make. But as the countdown reaches 10 seconds, you realize that you really don't have a choice. You have to try to save at least one of them. Or you could have texted Black Magic at the beginning of this, so you could have magic just way to frickin' magic them. Magic, 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 magic. You've been focused on upholding justice as a hero since you started, and just the thing to do would be to save your young, innocent sidekick. Who cares about your press or the HOT article? It's going to be ruined now, no matter what. It's way more important to save Tarana Rain, especially since she has saved your own life twice. But does that mean Sonya deserves to die? You think you might faint, but force yourself to snap back to reality. Time's up, hero, Prodigy says. Speak now, or forever hold your peace. Your body goes numb, but to your surprise, you find one name pulsing through your brain. You choose Prodigy. There should be way more options. There should be nothing, silence. There should be me. There should be Prodigy. There should be funnier options. I save Tarana Rain. I guess. I don't know. This is really arbitrary. Thy will be done, Prodigy says, bowing her head. Be seen, you Taserface. Before you can respond, the call goes dead. Your stomach turns, hunching over and pulling off your mask just in time. You vomit into the toilet in great spasms. Once done, you wipe the sweat from your brow and try to stand, finding that your legs feel like jelly. How could this can't be. Then one thought strikes you. Where is Tarana Rain? Shouldn't she have teleported here? One thought strikes me. Okay, so this option, where's Tarana Rain? Shouldn't she have teleported here? That makes sense. That is a thought to strike me. What if Prodigy was lying to me? Prodigy's an insane murderer. These are things that should have occurred to you quite some time ago. Like, more than 2 minutes ago. Not just like, wait a second! This bad murder person might be an insane murderer! This character is dumb. Let's go with the first one, because it makes sense, as previously discussed. Before you can finish that thought, Meechip Algernon appears to recite a text from Jenny. I'm on my way to your apartment. What's going on? Please call me Fo. I don't like this. Thank goodness you couldn't handle it if something happened to Grandma. I mean, it's too late. You don't know that nothing happened yet. You force yourself to envision Jenny walking into your apartment. Why? And finding Grandma safe and sound, sitting in your recliner or feeding Tropez. That thought calms you for a moment, but then you scream as a loud bang suddenly echoes beside you. You spin and nearly choke with relief. It's Tarana Rain, who is still gagged and bound to a chair. Not daring to think about Sonya, you rush forward to untie her. No, Tarana Rain says, once ungagged, trembling and crying. No, please, no. It's alright, you're safe now, you say, hugging her tightly, and praying that this is all some kind of twisted dream. What happened? I don't know, is all Tarana Rain can muster. Tarana Rain, you have to tell me what happened, you say, shaking her a bit. Your nerves are so frayed, you can't help it. That prodigal woman ambushed me after I dropped your grandma off at the Metro Way, she starts. You nearly collapse with relief. Grandma is safe. What? I mean, there's a scale here. She's not with Prodigal, which is great. Safe. Don't jump to conclusions, I think. At least you can hold on to that much. Grandma is safe. You keep repeating it in your head so that it will sink in. Next thing I knew, I was tied up. It was too dark. I had no idea where I was. My maid ship was missing. She took it so no one could track me. Tyrannorain says, holding up her vacant wrist. The thought of losing Mitra Algernon sends a wave of fear through your gut. Doesn't make any sense, whatever. Right before she teleported me here, Prodigal told me to take you back into the main ballroom. No, you say. You have to go find Prodigal. We have to go find Prodigal, now. I really think we should listen to her, Tyrannorain says. Please? You really don't want to, but Tyrannorain looks terrified. You can't find it in you to say no. Alright, well, let's go. Let's go! You and Tyrannorain run to the main ballroom, but no one even notices. Everyone is transfixed by a video that plays on a large holo monitor on the front stage. Sonya appears on the monitor, displayed in front of a crowd of her finest press peers. All you can think is, yeah, she's all still alive. At least until she starts speaking. The hero named Taserface betrayed me in my hour of need, Sonya says into the monitor, through sobs. I was the reporter about to name him Millennia City's Hero of Tomorrow, but he failed to save me after all that I've done for him. This speech is generic enough that either Sonya or Tyrannorain could have said it. He failed, except for that, I replaced his sentence for something else. He failed to save me after all I've done for him. Taserface is nothing but a hack, a danger to society, a selfish sociopath. You hear the words, and they cut through you like a knife. Sure. Sonya is right. A better hero might have been able to stop this from happening in the first place. It was hard to choose Tyrannorain or Sonya, but I knew it was the right thing to do. It doesn't matter what happened. All that matters now is saving Sonya and saving her. Yeah, that one. Not that one. That'll be enough from you, Prodigal says, stepping into the frame with her gun raised. There are several screams from the crowd as Prodigal points the gun at Sonya. No, Sonya screams. You should have already said in your speech that you'd spare. Next, there's a loud bang. Then silence. So that proved it was coerced, which is great. Which means I should still be a Goram hero, right? Achievement, Hero of Tomorrow. What's it say? You were... Dang it, faded. The Steam achievement covered the achievement I cared about. Hey there, Millennia City, Prodigal proclaims, turning towards the horrified crowd. I have some breaking news for you. I'm happy to announce that your brand new Hero of Tomorrow is none other than Taserface. Let's give him a round of applause. All that can be heard are muffled gasps and sobs. Rude. And there's another juicy tidbit for you. Taserface is really faux Sterling. Oh, she knew, what a surprise. Though before his time in the Powered Family Protection Program, he was known as Faux Hamner. Prodigal says the words, and you struggle to understand exactly what they mean. They sound foreign to you somehow. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Taserface is the spawn of the sound and the theory. The heroes responsible for the murder of Miss Artillery. Is this Miss Artillery's daughter? The crowd ripples with whispers, but you can't seem to take any of it in. This simply cannot be happening. Yes, folks, you heard it here first. Faux Hamner is Millennia City's Hero of Tomorrow. And what a bright future MC will have under Taserface's purview, hailing from a family now responsible for multiple murders. And finally, this breaking news report has been brought to you courtesy of Millennia City's Villain of Tomorrow, Prodigal. With that, the monitor goes black. And so do you, as everyone in the ballroom turns to look at you in Tyrannorain. That's also when you realize that you never put your mask back on after throwing up. Which means that right now, all of Millennia City can see you for who you really are. This is how your parents must have felt that day when their lives ended forever. You find it hard to breathe. Next chapter. All falls down. That sounds like it might be a finale. Let's see.